Female body language. 9 signs she might be interested in you. We've all caught ourselves analyzing a fleeting glance across a crowded room, wondering if it meant more than coincidence. We are wired to overlook the tiniest shifts, a slow head tilt, an unguarded smile. But what if those moments hold the key to something real? I've learned that 9 almost invisible signals can transform uncertainty into clarity. In this video, we'll treat each gesture as a high-stakes challenge. Can you spot the quiet invitation before it fades by mapping every second we'll decode the gravitational pull behind a subtle lean in or a mirrored posture? Welcome to Infinite Wisdom, your go-to channel for real, relatable advice on navigating the complexities of love and relationships. Here's what I'll tell you from the start. Most of what's truly valuable in life is quiet. It doesn't shout the most elegant signals from a woman, don't arrive in flashing lights. They're laced into how she breathes when she sees you, or how she repositions a champagne flute with more grace when you're nearby. We're not here to decode cliches. We're here to translate presence. This isn't about playing detective. It's about understanding unspoken truths. And if you think you've seen videos like this before, you haven't. Stay with me. Sign 1, she feels nervous around you. We tend to misread nervousness as rejection. A woman fiddling with her ring or suddenly adjusting her sleeves, most men assume she's disinterested, when in reality she's hyper-aware of your presence. And that awareness is rarely casual. What to notice instead, it's not the nervous movement that matters. It's when it happens. Does her voice change pace when you speak? Do her fingers tap faster when you stand closer? That's not discomfort, it's anticipation. Women rarely fidget for just anyone. Nervousness when specific is often a symptom of emotional tension, especially when paired with frequent stolen glances or temporary silence. And here's where most men go wrong, they retreat. But a man who understands this holds ground with quiet confidence. Spotting this doesn't just help you read attraction, it sharpens your intuition in meetings, interviews, and moments where social stakes are high. Learn to see nervousness as interest with nowhere else to go. She blushes when around you, a flush across her cheeks, and you assume she's hot or maybe she's shy. You shrug and move on. That's where most men fail to catch the truth hiding in plain sight. What to look for instead: does the color rise only when you engage? Or does it fade when you turn your attention elsewhere? That soft hue isn't random, it's biochemical. Blushing is one of the body's most honest tells. It can't be faked, it's the bloodstream admitting what her words won't. In that moment, however brief, signals vulnerability. She's exposed if only for a second, and that means your presence affects her more than she's letting on. This isn't just about charm, it's about awareness. Recognizing a blush builds your emotional precision, not only in dating but in leadership and negotiation too. Because once you understand involuntary cues, you stop chasing signals and start commanding them. She speaks differently around you. Most men miss this one because they're focused on what she says, not how she says it. But a woman's voice doesn't lie. It adapts. If her tone softens, if her pitch lifts ever so slightly, or her cadence slows down to match yours, she's not just making conversation, she's harmonizing with you. What to observe instead: does she mirror your pacing, hold pauses when you do? Does she laugh softer or let her words linger like a well-aged pour? That shift in delivery is intentional. It's her way of signaling rapport without a single overt gesture. And here's the real value. Once you become fluent in these subtle shifts, you won't just attract attention, you'll command it. In client meetings, social gatherings, or late-night talks, your presence becomes the tempo others follow. That's not charisma, that's calibrated energy, and it's rare. Sign 4, she pays keen attention to what you say. You mention something offhand. Your favorite wine, a stressful meeting, a story about your dog, and 2 weeks later she brings it up. Most men chalk it up to good memory, but selective memory is emotional. What to notice instead: her eyes when you speak, are they scanning the room or locked in? Does she nod at the right times, echo your phrasing, or ask questions that prove she was listening? That's not politeness, that's investment. She's keeping mental notes, not out of obligation, but interest. And here's why that matters. The woman who listens deeply is revealing how she values your presence. That skill transfers. If you can identify when someone's truly engaged, you start building better connections with clients, partners, friends. Attention is the new currency. Learn to recognize who's spending it on you. Sign 5, she makes intense eye contact with you. There's a moment just a few seconds too long where she holds your gaze, and most men flinch. They look away, adjust their collar, sip their drink, or retreat into small talk. That's not confidence, it's missed opportunity. What to recognize instead: when a woman sustains eye contact, she's not challenging you. She's opening a window, the kind you step through, not step back from. There's science behind it. Prolonged eye contact increases emotional bonding and testosterone. It creates a quiet tension that words can't replicate. And it's not just about attraction. The man who can hold his gaze without folding sends a signal of leadership, presence, and control. In boardrooms and social spaces, in moments that matter most, people blink first. You won't. She makes casual physical contact. You're mid-sentence and suddenly her hand brushes your arm. Light, almost forgettable. That's where most men miss it. They categorize it as friendly when in fact it's calibrated. What to feel instead: did it happen more than once? Does she initiate proximity, close the gap in chairs, or find excuses to be within arm's reach? Yep, those micro movements are calculated tests. She's gauging how you respond, not just physically, but energetically. Do you stiffen? Do you lean in? Touch is primal. It bypasses logic and speaks in sensation. And a woman who initiates it repeatedly isn't guessing, she's guiding. Understand this and you'll become fluent in silent communication, the kind that reads chemistry before it ever needs to be spoken. Sign 7, she approves of your touch. This one slips past most men. You touch her arm and she doesn't move away, so you assume it's a green light. But here's the thing. Absence of rejection isn't the same as approval. What to observe instead: does she lean in when it happens? Does her posture open up? Or her smile linger just a second longer when your shoulder brushes hers? Does she hold that moment? That's not tolerance, that's an invitation. A woman who's interested won't just allow touch, she'll subtly respond to it. And once you learn to spot that response, you stop second-guessing your presence in any space. This isn't about being aggressive, it's about being attuned. Confident touch, when welcome, is a signal of mutual energy. It's not just romantic, it's psychological clarity. Understand this, and you'll never mistake neutrality for chemistry again. Sign 8. She clears out physical barriers. This is one of those signs that most men miss because it never announces itself. It doesn't flirt, it rearranges. What to catch instead: does she slide her purse off the table between you, adjust her wine glass to the side, reposition her chair so it's directly angled toward you? She's not just making space, she's removing obstacles. In body language, space is invitation. When a woman subtly eliminates the things between you, she's creating alignment, not just physically, but psychologically. And here's where it gets deeper. Those same cues apply beyond attraction: boardrooms, dinners, negotiations. People only remove barriers when they're open to influence. So if you want to read people well, start noticing what disappears when you enter the frame. Sign 9, she carries herself gracefully. Most men assume grace is just about how a woman walks, like it's some effortless sway or rhythm, but there's far more beneath the surface. What to tune into instead: does her posture subtly shift when you enter the room? Does she soften her movements, become more composed, or let a gentler energy flow through her gestures? She's not just moving, she's consciously presenting her most magnetic, refined version for you. This isn't about flashy attention, it's quiet confidence wrapped in elegance. Recognizing this raises your emotional intelligence because it shows you that attraction isn't always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's a deliberate, poised dance, carefully crafted, deeply intentional, and unmistakably powerful spotting. That grace tells you she values your presence and that she's choosing to match it with her best self. If you've made it this far, write "I notice" now in the comments. That tells us you're part of the Bond Chronicle circle, and we always notice the real ones. Most men misread a slower pace as disinterest or distraction. What to observe instead when a woman slows her steps beside yours, delays a response, or lingers after a goodbye. She's extending time. She's stretching the moment to stay in your orbit longer. This goes beyond interest. It's a form of trust, a sign she feels safe in your presence and doesn't want the moment to end. You'll start to notice this in other areas of life too. Those who pause, stay, or wait. That's where trust lives. And to every man who watched until now, we don't take you for granted. You're why we build this content. You're the core of this channel. Let's run through the signs real quick. She feels nervous around you. She blushes when around you. She speaks differently around you. She pays keen attention to what you say. She makes intense eye contact. She makes casual, physical contact. She approves of your touch. She clears out physical barriers. She carries herself gracefully. Bonus, she slows down around you. If you got value today like this video, it really helps us grow and reach more men like you. Subscribe to Bond Chronicle for daily real-world advice that actually applies. And don't keep this to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear what we covered today. Thanks for watching. We've handpicked the next video for you. Check it out on your screen now. And as always, we'll see you back here tomorrow.